Yeah.
Well, who's going to blow it?
Blow what?
The candle that Tony wanted lit.
Oh, well, wait a minute. Let me light it first. Unless you all just
make a wish.
Unless you just want to practice blowing it out. I mean,
is that one of them drippy candles that leaks down the side?
It's a protein candle.
No. That's the cheap stuff. You got to go for the high end that drips in the middle.
Oh, the Yankee Candle Company?
Yeah, the
Yankee candle. Hey, you know what?
It's kind of candle. It's a little bleachy.
It smells like cinnamon.
What is that?
You guys are disgusting. I should have just went to bed.
Presented by Memphis Shades, the clear choice for custom windshields and fairings for your motorcycle. And Wild Ass Seats, stay in the saddle longer and in total comfort no matter your butt or budget.
Jesus, how late is it there? What is wrong with you?
I'm really tired today.
7:35.
You need to see a doctor, Brittany.
I didn't get much sleep Saturday.
It's Monday,
that
for
was 2
fuck's
days
sake.
ago.
That was
Yeah,
2
I
days
know.
ago.
I know. It's brutal.
Holy hell.
Everybody, welcome back to 5 Dirty Biker Podcast, where the shits are at absolute zero given.
Given. My garden is fresh out of fucks.
Or taken.
It is barren.
It is barren. It is fresh out.
So we got a little normalcy going on here tonight. It's all back in our
Everybody's
cozy
back.
homes, out of the rain.
Dave's right at the wax station where he normally is.
Yeah.
The Wax Shack.
The Wax Shack. How many people are in line, Percy?
It's just me by myself, brother.
Is it?
Yeah.
He's
the best type of
perfecting the pterodactyl.
Best type of business is the alone business.
Dustin, I know that they can't see us on the podcast, but if we do this on YouTube, they'll see us. I just want to thank you again, brother, for these hats.
Oh, sure, no
Oh,
problem.
they're
These
very nice.
5 Dirty Biker hats are just, I think, the best hats ever.
You know,
Hey,
the hat
speaking of-
sparked a conversation at lunch yesterday. Me and my wife were out to lunch, and the guy, I guess he was the manager, just checking on everybody to see, how everybody's meal was and everything. He was like he ran like several podcasts and stuff, and we had a conversation about it. It was pretty cool. It's a conversation starter. That's for sure.
Conversation starter.
Well, just they look great, but the quality of the hat, and this is the best hat that I think we've had.
Yeah.
Speaking
Big shout
of-
out to Schwarzkopf Printing for those. They did a good job.
Speaking of hats, we have we don't have hats, but we have new shirts on our website.
Damn right we do.
Damn
Anybody
right.
ordered theirs yet? Because I ordered 2 already.
I have not ordered them yet. I need to.
It's on my list. I'm still waiting on my wild ass hat.
Yeah,
I got an ass hat.
You got an ass hat on?
You
Yeah.
got an ass hat?
Boy.
When you feel like an ass hat, get you one.
I got an ass decal on my work computer. Thank you, Craig.
Is it a scratch and sniff hat?
No, it's just a big ass, wild ass decal he put on when we were podcasting.
Brady, did
Scratch
you
and
have those
sniff ass
stickers when
hat.
you were little that you got from the doctor's office? They were the scratch and sniffs. The
The
grape was my
scratch and
favorite.
sniffs?
They were little
remember.
they're like little caricatures, and they had arms, and it was like a.
Yeah.
Hang on,
The
you went to
beaver
the-
was very,
I
very
don't think
confusing.
I had any animal ones that were scratch
You went
and
to the
sniff.
doctors and got scratch and sniff?
Yes, sir.
That's
So I would get shots on my arms every Friday, and I'd get a sticker or a prize or something, and I collected
Hold
them.
on. Why did you have to get shots every Friday?
Allergy shots.
Allergies?
Allergy shots. Yep.
Damn, I didn't realize you had allergies like that.
So-
My mom's.
He doesn't now. He's had the shots.
So
yeah, the
no
stickers.
no counter jokes, but I got poked twice every week.
Oh.
And you got the scratch and sniff
And
sticker.
you got to scratch and sniff. You got poked and scratched and sniffed.
Oh,
What a
Jesus.
childhood!
What a childhood.
I had pneumonia and had to have blood drawn a lot, so
That's
Yeah,
totally
allergies
not the
suck.
same. You
It's
just
not-
tried to
it's a
one
lot
up
of
him and it didn't
needles.
work, Brittany.
Yeah.
lots of needles.
I'll put crickets there. Oh damn! So
old
lots happened
scratch and
since
sniff.
you guys have been back in your seats, Ryan and Dave.
Yeah.
But I think one thing we need to talk about we didn't get to the last handful of podcasts was how the hell was Fuel Cleveland, Brittany?
It was awesome. It did also rain during Fuel Cleveland. So we were
Imagine
talking about the rain
this.
earlier. Yeah, we tried to avoid the rain, but I think it rained Friday night. Like, we were going to set up the bikes, and then it rained, so we all had to dry the shit off, cover them up. Ugh. And then it rained again Saturday, like right when we were supposed to kick off the show.
So let's start from the beginning. What is Fuel Cleveland exactly, Brittany?
So Fuel Cleveland is hosted by Lowbrow Customs in Cleveland, Ohio. It is a show, like a custom bike builder show that was started for people in that area that were bike builders. So we were actually talking with Mikey from Lowbrow. He said they kind of, the inception came from that, is that people in that area, like Ohio, and he said Pennsylvania, parts of Kentucky, like just kind of up in that, I guess, middle and then somewhat eastern region, there just were no shows for them to participate in. So they said, well, let's just start our own show and start featuring bike builders. And there are a lot of really cool motorcycles out there. I mean, I know we see them from time to time, but I've never been to a show like that before, and it definitely gives you that, like, builder's itch, where you're like, God, I really just want to build my own motorcycle now.
So
It was cool.
You rolled in on Friday. How is the event? Is it 2 days, 3 days? What does the event look like?
It's 2 days. In the past, it was 1 day, and this year, I think, is the first year they did 2 days. So it was Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
And I want to say it was like 10 a.m. to 7 on Saturday, and then 10 to like 4 on Sunday.
And you're at a farmstead, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the bikes are like out in
farmstead.
our farm field.
Yeah. There's they did it at Hale
Cow shit.
Farm. Thanks, Dustin.
Oh, look.
So
there's
this
a
is
picture.
one
Look
of the
at that
pictures from it.
motherfucker.
So this whole area, and this is only like maybe half of the area that had the custom bikes in it. But I did not research the farm very much. It's like a historical site, I believe, and so it's huge. There's tons of area. So they had.
is that? I'm guessing that's a church because
I
of the
believe
temple
it
and
was
everything.
a church
But
at one
is
point. Yeah.
it still used as a church, or was it used as part of the event?
I think that I don't know if they use it as a church. To be honest with you, I have
Doors
no
were
idea.
open.
Tony wouldn't be
They-
allowed in there.
They had some
not-
speakers in there
on
yeah, they were gonna set up music and then it rained, so they threw all their speakers in there and
Go
then
in there and play the organ.
yeah,
The meat organ.
Oh Jesus!
gross.
Everything was going so nicely there.
Oh.
And there's a church in the picture, Tony.
Have you ever played the slobber blues?
Oh,
Man, that's a hell of a pickup line. I should have used that in college.
What was your name?
Oh my
Jizzy
God.
Gillespie?
Yeah. Can you mind humming the first 8 bars of the slobber blues?
Just give it a bop bop bebop. Continue.
all right.
Back to the bikes.
So yeah, there were a lot of bikes there, and then they also had a whole bunch of like motorcycle vendors. So there's a lot of people that make their own T-shirts or provide other bike-related services. Like there was parts vendors. I don't even know. There's so many I can't even remember what there were, but there's a whole street of them that you could go down. So it was super cool. And we do have other pictures in here if we want to throw them up.
So what's on the seat, Brittany?
That is the cards that we were handing out.
Oh, I
So
thought
we-
that looked like a Lunchables tray.
No,
I'll
we-
tell you what.
I went and
Looked
bought
like
a little
something else
like
to me, but that's okay.
I went and bought a little tray because there was enough of a breeze that the cards would just blow away if you didn't have them setting in something. But
Gotcha.
yep, so this is our bike at the event. This is
That's a big pink bastard there.
yeah, this is another one of them.
That's cool.
That kicker is looks like a
I don't-
paw print. That must be the Pink Panther
Yeah.
bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the Pink Panther bike. I didn't
Tell you
get to
what,
read
you catch that
about
son
all
of
of
a bitch
them.
wrong, it'll buck your ass right off of it.
Yeah, that'll throw you a little ways right
Break
there.
your fucking leg, man.
Yeah.
This one was super cool. So I know this is describing these is probably not the best for I guess the podcast, but for YouTube,
Yeah.
this one is super cool because they did all this like custom metal work. So they had all this like rebar stuff that they bent and then welded onto the bike to add features to the frame. I don't know if you guys can describe it better than that. But
You see
it's
that, Tony?
fucking neat.
That's a twin can chopper. So somebody somebody did a little bit of work there on a twin cam Springer front end. And,
Is that a
Yeah.
twin cam or an Evo?
That's
looks
an
like a
Evo, isn't it?
I don't know.
that
I'm
looks
really
like a
bad
twin
at
cam to
pointing
me.
them out.
I don't know. It's got a magneto on it.
Does it?
They had
Yeah,
like
right there.
Yeah,
this one
sure
had
enough.
springs. Like they really
You're probably
leaned
right.
into all these
That's
spring
probably an Evo.
features.
I kind of like that beat up, pinged look. where
Yeah.
it looks like they took a hammer.
The amount
I
of
like it on somebody
detail-
else's bike.
Well, in my pictures, like I just use my phone, so these aren't super high end
Well,
pictures.
Dave,
Oh,
but
because you've got an
Dave, that's
Android phone and the
obviously-
camera sucks.
Dave, that thing is not beat up. That
the
tank
camera
is
does not
caved in.
suck. But
That tank
yeah,
is caved
this
in,
is
and that
a
barbed wire is sticking out.
Yeah.
It looked like there was like a
No,
little
it's
pings
concave.
around there.
no, it's a concave tank.
Okay,
But the
I take it
amount
back
of
then.
detail
not as
that's
cool.
in these builds is just astonishing. I mean, one picture cannot capture it all. This was a female builder. It was
Hippie
super
bike.
cool bike. Yeah, super
Katie
cool.
Loftus.
Very cool.
I don't
That
know.
is-
I don't
that's
know
an
how to
Evo right
describe
there.
That's
it.
a
for the
Woodstock
show.
bike.
That's the Betty Boop bike.
No.
I don't
Yeah.
think
No,
it's Betty
like-
Boop.
It's got that Betty Boop handkerchief.
No, it does not.
I think you eat
That's-
a fistful of mushrooms and listen to Jefferson Starship when you ride that.
There's polka dots.
Jethro Tull.
Yeah.
This is cool.
This one has, so obviously like a lot of these have custom paint that they did, and then this one they actually put like swirlies into the frame itself.
No, I see that. That's cool.
It
Okay,
is
so
super sweet.
That
That's two
is
pumps and
a-
a twist, Tony.
No, Tony.
Yep.
Yeah.
Two
Tony.
pumps and a twist.
Tony, look at the frame. Whose
I
frame
see
is
it.
that? Whose frame is that?
Fuck, I don't know.
It's
I
the
have
guy
no
from New
idea.
York who died standing on the back of his motorcycle. I believe this is
What?
one of his bikes. This is
I don't have the plaque
um,
for it, so I cannot.
No, this
confirm.
is a. Why can't I think of his name? He's Indian Larry. This is an Indian Larry bike.
Well, that might be because the
Yeah,
Indian
no,
Larry
you can see by the question
fender
marks
was right
on.
behind it.
Yeah,
The question marks,
the Joker
yeah.
symbol. Yeah.
This is the Joker. Yeah, this is an
Or
Indian Larry
Riddler.
bike.
Riddler.
The Riddler.
Yep.
This one has a whole bunch of crazy custom stuff on it too, and then there's.
Well, I sure hope we put this
Do we
on
have the
YouTube.
other one?
I was just
I
thinking
know.
the
I'm
same
so
thing.
sorry.
Yeah,
I don't know
'cause
how to
I mean,
describe
yeah,
it. This
the
one was my
podcast.
favorite one. This
Hell
is my
no.
favorite bike from the entire
Who's-
show. I
who's
don't know why.
riding?
I
Now
just
that's the
love
pro
it.
state button.
Who's,
So this
Wow.
bike,
who's riding passenger
has-
on that thing?
it has those really tall seats on it, and there's a passenger seat, and I don't even think I could fit in there. So we were asking a whole bunch of people, this builder, every time someone walked up, they'd be like, has anyone sat in the back of that? And this one girl that he knew tried to like
I
wiggle
bet
her way
she
down
did.
there, and she got maybe like halfway
Yeah.
down to the bottom of the seat, and then she's like, my pussy's too big for this.
Actually,
Wow.
it wasn't.
Olive oil couldn't ride that bike.
Yeah.
It is super cool though, like super cool in person to see this bike.
Hey, go back. Does that sissy bar go all the way? Is it
All
Yeah.
the way
at the
up.
top?
All the way. It's super
Oh, look
tall.
at that.
It's forked
That's
at the
so
top.
you can hold on to
Yeah.
it.
No spooning with that bike. Only
This
forked.
and this is a custom, like a very custom seat. He was telling us how he
You
actually
can
made.
go right down the corner and buy that street anywhere.
He made the frame for the seat, and then I didn't get a chance to ask who builds those seats.
What does it say?
but
Long
somebody-
You know,
John? It
You're
says
not
Long
finding
John
that.
what?
You don't find that at the Harley store. You find that at Adam and Eve. They have a whole aisle of it.
Zoom in on that. Dustin
know if
said,
we
does it
can
say
zoom
Long
in.
John?
Not possible.
Yeah. Wow.
I'd have to look on my my picture,
That's cray cray.
see who the builder
That
is.
is marketed
I don't
as the
remember his
Harley
name.
Tickler.
Did you show this one, Dustin? There was someone who turned one of them into a John Deere.
Hmm.
It's like a John Deere motorcycle.
That's a mower.
That's
Or-
a mower.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a motorcycle. That
It's a
they
fucking
like.
fun
Motorcycle
mower.
It was
Mow the
hilarious.
grass in 30 seconds.
So basically,
then
Fuel
this
Cleveland is a
one-
custom
That-
bike show.
That's a goddamn carnival ride right there.
This
Yeah, that's-
thing was insane. So for the podcast, I'll try to describe it. So it actually has a sidecar on it. It's like a big bagger, and the whole thing is like a Joker machine. It's got the entire thing is covered in lights.
You know what it reminds me
Joker
of?
signs
French
on
stickler.
And then here's the back. The back is an American flag.
Oh Jesus, that's not legal.
He said in
that's
this
not street legal.
in the I think you can actually
That's
ride it on the street.
Liberace's bike.
There you go. Yeah, it is.
He said he rewired this, and I think there was two of them that rewired all the lights, like replaced them and rewired. So he bought this and then like fixed it up, and it took each of them like 33 hours to rewire these lights.
Jesus.
And they're run off of like their own power supply, like battery pack in the touring pack on the back there.
People gonna think that's like a flying saucer shit going down the road at night.
Yeah,
dude, it's wild.
They'll be called the Air Force.
Well, hey, you wouldn't get hit. I mean,
I'd love to see that thing lit up at night because I bet you it's really fucking cool.
What were you gonna say, Dustin?
So cool.
It reminds me of the carnivals that would come through these small towns every year. They have those rides that just go in a circle, and they got all the lights on them. That's what this reminds me of.
Yeah. The tilt-a-whirl.
Yeah.
That thing's nuts.
It's it's just hard to capture all of these with pictures because even kind of like our bike that's
the reason you have to go.
Yeah, there's just so much detail that's in these things that you just can't believe it.
So we apologize to all you out there in podcast land.
Yeah.
We're sitting here talking
about
these pictures.
20 minutes about these pictures.
Yeah.
Was that an FLH?
So go to YouTube so you can see all the pictures that we just posted on about these bikes because they're pretty fucking amazing.
They're super amazing, and we only showed maybe like 10 bikes. There was, I bet, at least 100 builders, and it was a packed event for the whole weekend.
So
even
2
in
days,
the rain, even
2
in
days
the rain.
On a farmstead in Cleveland, Ohio, where these are all
Custom bikes.
Very cool. Very, very cool. I'm kind of partial to that pink and blue one.
Yeah, I know.
So
I'm telling you, that orange one is my favorite. I don't know.
It's creative. I mean, just to go to see the creativity
so cool.
is what I would go for.
Yeah.
You're not going to see
yeah.
You're going to see something different every bike.
Well, and it's just like we talk about with everything else. It's really cool to see the community because a lot of these builders, they know each other because this is what they do, or they know, or they've interacted before. Some of them, like it was my first time being at the event, and then obviously I took our bike. I never would have imagined in my life that I would be at like a builder in the show, even though I didn't build the bike. And it's just so cool to interact with the people there, hear their stories of how they come up with these builds. I mean, you got to go. It's really cool, and they do this every year.
Well, the good thing, I've got good news if you want to go next year and you're traveling through Ohio. Those motherfuckers are upgrading their Easy Pass technology.
That's even better.
They're-
And you know what?
Okay, there's no tolls on the way
They're
from
getting
where
rid of
I'm
the booths.
at, but
They've got the big overhead, just keep driving things that they're getting ready to turn on. So good news for
You know
Ohio
what?
people.
I'm tired of talking about everybody else's events when we have one coming up in 4 weeks.
We do.
We do.
We do.
oh, I thought you were going to tell us about your couch cushion this weekend.
No. That's private.
So what do we got coming up in 4 weeks, Tony?
We have the 5 Dirty Bikers annual meetup, you cocksuckers.
Yeah.
FDBM 23.
FDBM 23.
It is right around the corner.
It's right around the corner. When this thing airs, we are like less than 3 weeks, I think.
Yep. Well, about 3 weeks.
About
yep.
3 weeks. Yeah.
About 3 weeks out.
Yep.
Dang.
And
we're close to a month out right now. August.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like unlike any of our other events because we have a bike that we're giving away this time.
We do. We have a bike that we're giving away that's going to be really cool. That if you guys are new to the podcast, it is a 75 Harley Ironhead David Mann replica. You can buy tickets. Go to our website. You can buy tickets for $25 and try to win this fucker.
What's our website address?
www.5dirtybikers.com/ I think it's raffle bike. I got it wrong last time.
Just go to
like
5dirtybikers.com. Click on
Yeah,
the button.
5dirtybikers.com. You can get a ticket. But we will be giving that away at this year's FDBM. It's going to be in Louisville, Kentucky. It's going to be held at Bluegrass Harley-Davidson on Saturday, the 16th. The event is going from noon to 4. There will be some a meet and greet on Friday. We were talking starting that around 4 in the Bluegrass parking lot. So yeah, that's kind of our plan. And if anybody else wants to add some shit, go right ahead. But I talked about Saturday.
No, there's a lot of good stuff going on at the event.
Yeah,
it's we're also kind of sharing, splitting an event with what is it, like Hogs and Dogs is going on?
Yeah,
Hogs for
Hogs and Dogs, I think, which actually works well because there's going to be a hot dog vendor there, and the David Mann bike that we're giving away is what's the name of the print that it's from?
Doggone hot dog.
Hot dogs, yep.
Doggone hot dogs.
So any of you guys out there in 5 Dirty Biker Land have been listening to us for a while, this will be your opportunity to come to a 5 Dirty Bikers event and have a wiener in your mouth.
We're not sure if the water will be available or not, but we'll talk to the vendor.
Yeah, we can talk to the vendor and see if they can do cups of wiener water.
$3
5
shots.
cents a piece.
If not, see me behind the building.
Oh, no.
You might catch a
wiener
charge
water?
for that one, Tony.
Oh, man.
Phil better stay home.
Consensual wiener water is there's no charges for.
That's not water.
When you're Tony's age, it's more like dust.
Yeah.
It's like half and half.
Tony's age. That's usually a joke you'd throw at Percy.
Jesus Christ.
I got you.
You did. That was a good one, Percy. That was good.
Wow.
I haven't been read in a while. That was
Oh, man. Ugh.
Unbelievable. Can't believe
This is
it
the
just
shit
happened.
you'll miss if you don't come to the event, everybody.
Right.
Yeah, lots of hanging out, having fun.
Right.
I guess we could say that Brian and I are talking about on Friday before the meetup, going over to Kingfish for lunch.
Yep.
And inviting people out to hang out with us at Kingfish, and then we'll head over to at 4:00, I guess, for the meetup on Friday.
Yeah, so we'll wind out some details on that, but likely it'd be right around that noontime kind of situation that we'd head over to the Kingfish for lunch, and we can ride from the Kingfish over to Bluegrass. So
Bluegrass. And the best way to find this shit out is join the Discord because it'll all
join
be in
the
the
Discord.
Yeah.
And truly, for those of you that are, if you're contemplating going to the event or thinking about it or whatever, this is truly what it's like when you get the 5 of us together. It's the same shit that you see on the podcast. It's just that we're all in the same place
And better.
So, as far as the banter and having fun and that kind of stuff, it's all right there. So,
now there's more to add too. There's going to be a cash bar, and there's going to be vendors there as well.
Yes.
So, come out, have a good time. Maybe you'll win the bike.
Maybe.
Yep. There could be
Maybe,
a
and
little something
hopefully
special
it's not going to
coming in.
be 5,000 degrees
Or
like
raining.
it was last year. Or
I'll take
rainy.
5,000
We're
degrees
Definitely
over
not.
monsoon season.
We're gonna cross our fingers on the rain because let me tell you what, this is a fucking moist state this summer, man.
It's
Yeah.
the whole country, dude.
well,
Jesus.
and just so everyone else out there knows too, we do have some special guests coming for our sake. So Andy and Greg and Frank from the Iron Horse Inn, where Dave and I spent Sturgis this year, are also coming out to the event. So you guys will be able to meet the people from the Iron Horse that Dave and I spent a week with. So they're also coming out there. So it should be a really good time. Good times are going to be had by all. So
just to be clear,
Yeah.
we spent the week but we were all in separate rooms.
Well, you all that's
I don't know if you had
I
to
just
clarify
need to-
that, Dave.
I
but,
need to clarify that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
well
Clarify
that
it all
sounds
you
like
want.
a guilty conscience to me.
Yeah.
I think the only thing else to add is that September 15th at midnight is your last chance to buy tickets, because we're going to draw the winner probably mid
Yeah,
2
we
o'clock.
haven't really worked that out. Probably around 2:00 on Saturday. So ticket sales will end Friday the 15th or basically the 16th at midnight.
No, the
So,
15th at midnight.
The 15th at midnight.
Get out there, tell your friends. Let's have a last good 3 weeks of ticket sales before this bike gets given away to somebody.
And can we just give a special shout out for last week, how the Discord members responded on ticket sales?
Absolutely.
I mean, I think we had Jay We
Yep.
had Mark.
Yep.
Yeah.
I should have looked these names up. We had several members really stepped up and
Yep.
bought a lot of tickets last
Did
week
that.
for the bike, and
And-
we very appreciate that. Very much.
And
appreciate
speaking of the bike, if you're in the Illinois, St. Louis area, it's sitting at Ted's Harley-Davidson right now.
that. Yep.
You want to go up and take a look at it and buy some tickets, or you don't even have to buy a ticket. Just go take a look at it.
Yeah, we need to give Roger Price a thank you too, because he volunteered to go pick it up and come back. We did a turn and
that
burn.
turn
in
and burn you all did, man.
That wore
Fuck.
It's
us
a
out.
long day.
Yeah.
It wore us out. We left at 7 a.m. here. Of course, you guys are an hour ahead, and then
Yeah.
we were at Tony's house for what, an hour and a half.
Couple hours.
Yeah, maybe.
And Brittany
Yeah.
got to try Tony's barbecue for the first time.
I did. I got to go somewhere other than his bathroom for once. It was
Did
very
you
You
roast
got to
the
nice.
butt?
burn it.
Did you make a butt?
No, I did ribs.
St. Louis
They
style.
were really good.
Yeah.
You didn't make Brittany eat the ribs in the bathroom. I might have done that just so she.
Yeah, I should have
Just so the
you
only
know.
place she could see is the bathroom.
What I was thinking about putting was like one of those like red ropes up right at the bathroom.
You
that
in?
way
You
it had to
in?
come over and okay, you can come through. No, you
You
can't.
should have done that.
You're
That'd
not-
been
you're not.
great.
Yeah.
have one of
No,
those. Have one of those counters in your hand, Tony. Oh, we're
Yeah.
all filled up.
Oh, all folded up. You go out the garage.
You're gonna have to stand there and wait
Yeah.
till somebody leaves.
You're gonna have to stand there.
That wasn't until it was after 8:30 Central Time we got back, and me and him were beat. And we were driving home through the
Dude, I
country, and
knew
we're
you
seeing
guys-
deer, and I'm like, dude, stay awake. We need to stay awake. There's deer out here. But man,
I knew you guys were. I knew by the time you got home you were gonna be fucked up.
no, we had good help getting the bike unloaded. My GM and his father-in-law were there, and Kyle, he could bench press 500 pounds, so
There you go.
he could have lifted that off by himself. But no, we got it off. It's in the dealership. I'll get it staged tomorrow, and we'll get some good eyes on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sell some
Come
tickets.
take a look at it if you're in the area. It's a really cool bike. Like I said, don't feel obligated to buy a ticket, but once when you see it, you probably want to.
Mhm.
Buy a ticket.
So back on FDBM, we talked about Friday and Saturday,
Yep.
Yeah,
right? And then Sunday, the 17th,
the 17th.
will be we will be riding to perhaps a distillery and inviting everyone to meet us there at the distillery
At the
or
distillery
or in the parking lot. So
before the ride. So
before the ride, yeah.
if you guys can't read between the lines, eat a dick.
We're
Between the
back.
lines.
Yeah.
The lines.
So just
Read lines.
Between the lines. And I think
Yes.
in about 2 weeks, we'll be posting Brittany's address live on the Discord.
We are
So
not.
And her
all
phone
of you,
number.
so all of you can go over to her house. I heard Jared's making pork and beans. So
Yeah. So
just post the street because there's so much action and cop activity that happens on this.
there is.
And
And there
dog
might be
shit.
a
Oh my
pegging show
God.
too.
Yeah.
We're working on that.
Yeah.
Just
Brittany,
watch out for the doggy ass landmines.
We are going to post Brittany's address and telephone number.
just
So
her
she has to
address.
contact.
Just her address. She doesn't need anybody texting her asking her what time it starts.
Yeah,
You
we're
guys can just show up.
She is our point of contact
Jesus
for all
Christ.
navigation.
Yeah, for sure.
When's the show?
When's the show? Hey, where's the pork and beans?
Oh, I stepped in dog shit.
Hey, Brittany, you have to give me credit. This might be, man. I don't think I've mentioned Jared in like 6 weeks.
I know it's been
That's
very
because you've been
quiet about it.
distracted by your own stuff.
Well, that seems like that was a selfish remark you just made about me.
I think we're upset that we haven't talked about him lately.
You haven't in a little bit.
Well, we can fix that.
Right?
Yeah.
I think also Dave and I were talking about this, and we found a thing online. It's one of those. It's like one of those things where you can get applause, and it's a meter that goes by sound or whatever. And so we're gonna label it the Pegometer, and we can put it up at Bluegrass so people can applause, and it'll get closer to pegging time.
Give that 4 out of 5 pegs.
4 out of 5 pegs.
I'm sure Jared will appreciate it.
So the more you clap,
Jared's a
the
good
more you
sport.
peg.
Jared's
Or,
a good sport.
I say
Yeah.
the louder it is, the longer it is. I mean, I'm Just
mean,
saying.
all this pegging that I supposedly do, you'd think I'd be in better shape by now.
She's the creeper that just goes deeper.
Oh my god. I'm not the creeper on this show. Let's be clear.
So we'll start with one that's a big around as a pencil, and the higher the clap, and it gets all the way to tuna can,
Hey, give me that Ticonderoga. Let's
I
get
might
this
just
party
stay
started.
home for FDBM
Or-
this year. Sorry, everyone.
Just pass out and land on your back, and we'll use it as a flagpole.
Oh,
With the
man.
FTB flag on it.
Oh.
Hey, Brittany, don't stay home because I will post your address on Discord, and they will show up with pork and beans.
Pork and beans. If you show up to Brittany's house, you need a can of pork and beans.
Yeah.
I can
Pork
just
and
see it
beans.
now. People are going to show up at FDBM with a case
And with
of
pork and beans.
They
Yeah.
can if you do, just hand them to Brittany.
We're having a pork and bean drive.
Yeah, I guess I'll go donate it to someone.
Oh.
That's hilarious.
Jared,
Where'd you
loves
get
them
all
pork
these
and beans.
cans?
If you
Well, this is
Can't
Brittany.
be-
If it makes it feel any better, I'm sure you'll get pork and beans, and Dave is going to get plenty of ascots. So it's all it's going to be all good.
if you donate
not
the
to worry.
family size can, you get a extra thrust. Well, what else
Oh
we
my
got on the
goodness.
agenda tonight, lady
I
and
don't know.
gentlemen?
I'm still curious of how we incorporated pork and beans and all of that.
It's amazing what
welcome.
goes on in their brains.
It's pork and beans.
So I'm going to give. I just want to give a little shout out today. And
Campbells?
I'm saying this. No, just I'm saying this right now. So there was a conversation that happened in Discord today about motorcycle movies. And one of the Discord members said he was listening to a video about the movie Ghost Rider, and he wanted them to do a new motorcycle movie. He thought Ghost Rider was stupid. And so I just made a statement. I said, I've heard rumors of a legit motorcycle movie coming out of the next year. Some solid actors and a good story could be a winner. And I have heard that there's a legit motorcycle movie coming out with some really, really big names in Hollywood.
So like what? Sons of Anarchy,
Okay.
the movie?
No. It's a legit motorcycle movie. It's about I don't really know what it's about, but I've
The
heard
ghost
that
of Jax Teller.
Nope,
Yeah.
nope. So the guy that was just in the Elvis movie, I think, is in it. Garrett Hedlund is in it. I believe that the guy from The Walking Dead is supposed to be in it. So it's a legit movie. But anyway,
Why is it
Wild Hogs 2?
what makes it a motorcycle movie?
it's all about they're all right. It's like I think it's about like motorcycle gangs in Chicago.
Okay.
But I don't believe it's focused on the gangs, if that makes sense.
Shouldn't
So-
you be saying clubs?
Sure. No.
Clubs.
I truly think this might be like more gang situation, not club situation. but
Okay.
Anyway, I could be off on the storyline, but I do know that those three actors are supposed to be in it. So I get a message from John Doe, and he says, speaking about Nick Cage, I know Nick Cage personally. I'll pass along that you feel he was not a solid actor in Ghost Rider. He'll appreciate that. I said, please tell that motherfucker Ghost Rider was garbage. However, Con Air was the bomb. Okay. So then he posts a meme about there's a meme posted within it, and he said, then John Doe says he'll laugh, and so I was like, and tell him we need a guest spot for November. He said, so then John Doe says, I'll tell him, but if he agrees, somebody's gonna owe me. And I said, well, we can figure something out. Maybe we can get you some fresh fudge from Uranus.
Yeah, I could make that happen.
And he posts a picture of another meme, and I just said, you're welcome. So what I want to know after we post this podcast from John Doe is, does he actually know Nicolas Cage?
I want to know too.
And if he does know Nicolas Cage, please do reach out to him so we can get him on a guest as
that
a
would
guest
be
spot on 5 Dirty Bikers
super
podcast.
awesome.
Dude, I
It'd
have
be
Ghost
fun.
Rider tattooed on my arm.
It would be
back there.
fun.
He's right there.
It'd be fun. So
I
Speaking
was-
of the rain, it just started fucking pouring again here.
Oh yeah.
we
it's
weren't
great.
we weren't
Need you
actually
to know
speaking of
that.
the rain. No one was
Well,
speaking of the rain.
I needed you to know. Tony and
No,
I need you to
you actually said-
understand that it's rained all
You said
fucking summer.
Speaking of the rain, no one was talking about rain at that moment. I was just talking about Nicolas Cage, and he was on fire in Ghost Rider.
Have you
Completely the
guys
opposite of
seen-
rain.
Have you guys seen the movie that he did about himself?
Yeah,
have
Because
not.
it is
Yeah, it's-
hilarious.
It's really good.
It's
I saw the movie
hilarious.
they filmed here in Louisville, and it was awful.
I don't know what movie.
What was that?
is.
The crack movie or what?
No, it was one where the parents all go like crazy and try to kill their kids.
Oh, that sounds like a
What?
fun movie.
Yeah, I forgot the name of the movie. The only reason I know is I was working in a neighborhood, and they were using one of the houses to film the
Oh.
movie. So when I showed up, there were all these like black Escalades everywhere, and I was like, "What in the fuck is going on here?" I thought the Men in Black had shown up. You know what I mean? And no, they were actually using one of the houses to film it, and Nicolas Cage and I think Selma Hayek was there.
Mm.
So here's
Cool.
the movie that Ryan was talking about, which actually does sound good. It's called The Bike Riders. That's coming out in December, and has Norman Reedus, Michael Shannon. He's really cool. Tom Hardy. Lot of good people. in
Tom
it.
Hardy, that might be
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Said it follows the rise of a Midwestern motorcycle club through the lives of its members.
See, I told you, motherfuckers, there was a
Anarchy in movie form.
No, it's not going to be Sons of Anarchy.
Yes, well, it'll be Sunday.
Hey, we I was just scanning
Do
back.
we have
on
any Discord questions?
We got a
yeah,
whole
we actually
shit ton
have
of
like a
shit.
shitload.
Okay, Brittany, go ahead. I know you have some method to your madness. I know you know what question we need to start
I
with.
do. I started keeping track because it was, I don't know. It's just.
I
difficult to
figured
stay
out
on
your
top of it.
method.
Let's
so
do a
but-
couple.
It's
Let's
not
not
a difficult
just-
method. What is it, Ryan?
Yeah.
I want to hear.
You mark
you
it
know.
with you mark
Yeah.
the questions that we've asked with
It's brilliant. 'Cause
Yeah.
then I
let's
know
do
where
a
we're
couple.
at.
Let's not fucking go crazy
Oh,
and answer
don't worry,
5,000.
Tony. We have like a month's worth of goddamn questions.
right,
It's
so
pretty
we do.
absurd.
Throw us a couple.
So the last one is from July 15th.
Yeah, it
Not
is.
shitting
Well,
you
that's
about
not even
this
relevant
month.
anymore.
Yeah, these are
So-
just regular questions.
They're
Tony.
just questions. Well,
All
we
right,
don't
well,
have to do a ton. We can do like
Would you
10.
quit jacking your jaw and tell us the
No.
question?
I want to talk, motherfucker. It's my turn.
jacking
Good for
her
you,
jaw.
Brittany.
Good for you, Brittany. Good for you, Brittany.
Good for you.
All right. So the first one we have is from Unknown13. Says, what are your thoughts on street stunt riders? He says, I personally respect the skill it takes to do it, but on a highway or main road, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
It makes the bottom of my feet itch when I see people do that. I mean,
It makes me
it just makes me
uneasy.
nervous. Yeah.
Yeah.
If
I
you
don't want
get-
to see
if-
anybody get hurt.
Yeah, if you get paid to
Right.
do it, good on you. That's awesome. But if you're out there putting your life, your friend's life, and other people on the road in jeopardy, I'm not down with that.
So are we talking people doing stunts in normal traffic
Yeah.
roads? Yeah. no,
Yeah, we're
that's
not talking
bullshit.
about closed course stuff.
Yeah, no.
Now you're obsessed with what's hanging over your head. Percy.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
Yeah,
talking with his
don't
dick up.
do that.
Just talking to your mic.
It's like he's trying to line a dick up or
Pretend
something.
like it's a
Stop
normal
trying to do the
day.
dick swallow.
He's gonna get shot in the eye.
Yeah. I know. Wait a minute. Hold on.
So
Yeah, no, I would say that's illegal and it's bullshit.
Yeah. It
Yeah, I
makes me
respect the
nervous when I
skill
see
as
it.
well, but
Yeah.
I don't like it when people do it in traffic because it just seems really dangerous.
yeah, the closed course stunt riders I think is awesome, and I would agree. I respect the skill, but I don't want to see some guy doing a rolling burnout on the highway and go by me. He's not just putting his life in danger,
Right.
He's
It's
putting
everybody
other
around him.
he's
Yeah.
putting other people's lives in danger, and I personally
Or
don't
she.
want to be associated with somebody who's acting like an ass, and so you know what I mean. So
Yeah,
I'm
if you're
not.
gonna do that in a public setting like that, make sure you're clear for
Right.
Yeah,
a
don't
good
put
amount
other
of
people at
space.
risk.
Yeah,
But
if
when you
got-
see him doing it in traffic and that kind of stuff, I'm not a fan.
The expressway. I think I was in DC and we were on the expressway and there was like 15 or 20 sport bikes and they were all doing that stuff on the expressway. And I was like, God, this really it's making me nervous. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's
we
Final
have a
Destination shit.
problem here, not just with that, but with the ATV guys and the motorcycles that gang up and clog up the beltway, acting like
Yeah.
assholes.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah. Well, we all sounded old on that one. Okay. Next.
The next one is really long, so unless one of you
Well,
wants to
thank
read
you.
it, I was gonna summarize.
Just summarize.
Not
it.
you,
Just
Tony.
summarize.
You're not long.
Did she just say Tony's next?
Hey, it wasn't just
No.
a couple of days ago. had his meat in your mouth.
There you go.
I knew that was coming. I knew that
good
joke was
Lord.
gonna show
Oh
up
my
at some
God.
point.
Oh,
That was a
boy.
lot. Boy, we're on fire tonight. I'll tell you this.
Oh.
Ooh, Dustin hits
I
a
mean,
home
this
run with
is
that.
like-
Hey, to be fair, so did I.
These are. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
Dustin was
discriminate.
first in line for the meat.
So you got sloppy seconds, is what you're trying to
I
say?
know. As soon as I said that, I was like, God damn it. Just set myself up.
So
All right.
summarize that
These are like
question.
old,
The
old
next one-
FDBs here.
The next one's from Jeremy, and he is basically asking why everyone feels that the touring bikes are the most comfortable bike, because he has had a different experience where he thinks there's good features to other bikes. So for those of you that ride touring, what are your thoughts on that?
You want to go
I think-
first, Ryan, or you want me to go first?
Okay, so it sounds to me like he has found an ADV style of motorcycle to be more comfortable than a touring style of motorcycle, and he's got 17 years of riding experience, and he says essentially
What kind of riding does he do?
he hasn't been able to figure
He
out.
doesn't say.
He doesn't really say, but I get the impression that he's using an ADV style bike still, like a GS 1200, for instance, that
Yeah.
you would not take off road, just use it as a touring bike as opposed to a Harley touring bike, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so this is what I have to say about that. Harley designs different models of bikes for different purposes. They design the touring motorcycles. The frames are designed to be a little bit bigger. They're designed to carry a little bit more weight. Can you tour on a smaller motorcycle? Yes, absolutely you can. For me personally, versus an ADV style bike, and he talks about standing and all that kind of stuff. So number one, you can put mid controls on a touring bike and still stand up on it. You can actually, if you're tall enough like me, stand up on my foot. I can stand up on my footboards on my bike. Now, it's not the most comfortable riding position, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but you can do it, right? I don't know that I would be able to do an ADV style bike for touring because my legs are pushed behind me in kind of more of a sport bike position, and you're leaning forward on the bike, which also puts more pressure on your wrists. So for me, an ADV style bike is not going to be my jam. I think we've kind of addressed these style of questions before with other things, which is with any rider, number one, know how you're going to ride. And number two, that's going to dictate kind of motorcycle that you like. But if you're not comfortable on a touring motorcycle, it's because that position of that motorcycle isn't comfortable for you. So you either need to make adjustments to your bike to make it comfortable, or get a different bike that's going to be more comfortable for you. There's every bike has a purpose, and you can do all of the things on all style bikes. You can tour on a Sportster. You can tour on a Softail. David's done it. Dustin wants to do it, and he's done camping trips and everything on his bike. It's just that the touring platforms, whether it's a Harley or a Honda or whatever, they're specifically designed for longer trips. The ergonomics are designed for longer trips. They have luggage that's designed for longer trips. They have larger gas tanks that allow you to be on the bike for a longer period of time or cover longer distances without needing to stop for gas. So there's, those things are all, it's about what it's designed to do. And by him saying that it's not comfortable for him, then he's not found a touring bike a touring platform that's comfortable for him. And maybe he's just more comfortable on an ADV style bike. But as a general rule, they're designed, there's a purpose, they're purpose built.
Yeah, and I think you kind of hit the nail on the head when you were talking about like customized. But I will say, Walter has a Pan America and swears to God that bike is super, super comfortable for him for distance. It's not for me. On my road glide, I just got back riding out to South Dakota and back. My ride coming back, same bike, same platform. My ride coming back was much more comfortable for me, and I was able to go longer distance and be very comfortable because I took that platform, which is already engineered to go, for touring. And while I was out in South Dakota, I had the rear suspension tweaked for me by Legend, and also had my Wild Ass pad tweaked for me by the Wild Ass staff. And it dialed everything in to where that bike is more comfortable now than it was for the last 18 months. It's the same type of bike, it's the same platform. The only difference is that I customize it for my comfort.
I think too, and maybe I misinterpreted the question, but when I first read this, it made me think a similar way that a lot of people do talk up touring bikes, almost as like they're the end all be all of motorcycle. And I don't think that's always fair because like my bike is great, but it's not going to be great for Ryan necessarily to ride. Same thing. Like just because, so I mean, it kind of goes back to what Ryan's saying, but it is interesting because I have noticed that when you talk to different people, dealerships and whatnot, they're always trying to like upsell you to a touring platform, even if that's not really what you want.
Well, yeah, that's where the money is.
Right. It's the most expensive motorcycle.
But like Ryan said, I rode my Fat Bob, same trip that I just did on the Road Glide 2 years ago. And my Fat Bob I had configured for touring. I had a different configuration for it. Wasn't as comfortable as the Road Glide, but it was a great bike, and I did it. So again, it just comes down to getting the right bike for you that you can tweak to where it's the most comfortable for you.
Yeah, like
and I mean, go ahead, Ryan.
Oh, I was just say I was just going to use Tony as an example. I would never suggest that Tony go out and buy a Road Glide because he doesn't. He's not riding long distance and he's not touring on his motorcycle. So put all the money into the cool guy parts that you want that he can on the bike that he has because it serves the exact purpose for how he rides it.
Yeah,
real quick, let me flip the script because my Fat Bob was much, much more comfortable of a bike for me when I was running around town than the Road Glide.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, I don't ride a touring bike, obviously, but to me, when I sat on them and I have ridden them like test ride wise, they're big motorcycles, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that is something you have to get comfortable with because they're big, heavy fucking motorcycles. So, that could be something that's throwing him off too, because the GS, while they're good sized motorcycles, even the Pan America, they're half the weight.
Mm-hmm. And it's and then when you think about it too, and I know Dave and I have both experienced this, you definitely get used to riding your motorcycle at a certain weight, and then you pack it down to go on a big road trip, and the first time you stand your bike up to go on a road trip, you're like, motherfucker. Like this thing is way down, and it doesn't feel right until you get going and get it on the road, and it takes the weight off it. But when you're doing slow and you're like pulling up in a gas station, and truly for me, that's when you really need to be on your A game. So you've been on the road and you're getting tired, and it's toward the end of the day, and your bike is completely laden down, and you're pulling into the gas station for that last stop for your last 100 miles. You better be paying attention, because if you hit some of that kitty litter that they put down on gas station grounds or whatever, you're going to end up on the ground because that bike's heavy and you're tired and you're just, so you have to be on your A game, because slow maneuvering on a big bike is no joke. That's
completely different.
They're heavy fuckers.
And that's a great point. I remember us talking when you were getting ready to leave, and I yelled out, "Don't forget you've packed that bike. You've got more weight." Because after riding around for 4 or 5 days in the Black Hills with nothing on the bike, man, I tell you, that was hard to get that bike up.
Yeah. And you get used to it. And that's the other thing too, is that
the older you get, the harder it is.
Absolutely.
That's
I wish that was like it for everything,
it's
but it's not.
Yeah.
Sometimes the older you get, it doesn't get hard anymore.
Thank God that's not for everybody.
All right, Brittany, next.
Next.
We went down the rabbit hole.
The next one is from Dean. His is also kind of long. Okay. I just wrapped up 2 years. Tony, quit with that.
I didn't say it.
That was Dustin.
Dustin, whichever one of you. All of you can just fuck off.
Why are you blaming me?
Damn, you're cranky when you don't get any sleep.
She is.
No, I just feel like being feisty today.
Let's go, Red. Read the question.
I just wrapped up 2 years and 15K miles on my 883 Sporty.
Nice.
It's been a great bike
Good
for
for
the
you.
kind of riding I do. I've tossed around the idea of upgrading to something a little bigger, but financially, I'm at least a few years away from comfortably upgrading. I don't know that I necessarily need to upgrade. It's more of wanting something new, shiny, and more capable in the future.
Brittany,
At
did
what
he say,
point-
before you go any further, did he say 15,000 miles on an 883 or 1,500?
15,000.
God
15,000.
damn, brother.
Yeah.
We
He
did
did it.
1,000 of them together.
In 2
Wow.
years.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dean went
bravo.
with us to Alabama.
Okay.
Wow.
So he said, at what point do you all feel like it's time to move on to the next bike instead of upgrading the one that you have? Is it a gut feeling that you end up with or something else?
It's generally when you hit 15,000 miles on an 883.
Yeah, it's
it's
generally
time
when
to-
I am
I'll tell
kind of
you what.
amazed that he rides so much with the 883 because you do have to fuel up more frequently. But
Oh, dude, just the physicality of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
beating
Beat the shit
from
out of you.
15,000 miles on that. I mean, kudos, Dean. That's
Yeah,
that's
no,
quite
the-
an accomplishment.
I bet you that
While
guy's got
the-
hemorrhoids that look like
Yeah.
apples.
While the Sportster 883 is capable,
Yeah.
and it is a fun bike to ride, and
Yeah.
we've all had one. I
Yep.
mean,
I have a 1200, thanks.
You
well,
don't
I had
ride
a
it.
1250.
I'm
You don't
very
ride it.
bougie over here.
Mine
I
was
just
You don't ride
started
it.
right with the 12.
Mine was still bigger than yours. I had a 1250.
I hope.
But no, really. While it's a capable bike, it's a fun bike. We've all had them and we've all ridden them. It's not a fantastic bike to ride long distance. At least I don't think. I
The
think
engine's not smooth the way that like the M8 is.
no, but
it's-
the center of
No.
gravity's high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it doesn't have the power.
Yeah, it doesn't have the power really that you need, but they're great bikes, and I would own another one. I'm not saying anything bad about them, but when you get on the soft tail for the first time, or I can't talk about touring bike because I don't have one, but as soon as you ride a soft tail, you immediately get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
So he's saying, at what point do you feel like it's time to move on? So
I think it's
he-
different for everyone.
Yeah.
No, well, this is the thing. When it's time to move on, you know it because you're looking at that bike thinking it's not doing what I want to
Yep.
do on a motorcycle. That's when it's time to move on.
That's a
Yeah.
good answer.
You
and
know,
I'll tell you, as much as he's riding and the distance he's putting on, it's time.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And it's
Yeah.
just like anything else. When the tool won't do what you need it to or want
Yeah.
it to, it's
Want.
time to move on to something
And I
else.
I think he needs to stay away from the word need altogether because
Yeah.
none of us
It's a
need
want.
motorcycles. It's about want, right? And it's when you want to get something different because it's not doing what you want to do with it. You
Yeah.
never need anything with a motorcycle.
Now,
I'll
I
tell
just
you
want to
what.
throw it out there, though. Dean, when you listen to this episode, don't let these guys guilt you into buying something too soon before you can afford it. Because when I bought my Sport Glide,
We didn't guilt you into anything.
I'm not going to lie. It's not your guys' fault, but I'm not going to lie. When you're in a group with people who are all getting like new shiny things, it's really hard to be like, no, I shouldn't buy that new
Well,
shiny
that's
thing.
a
And I
personal problem.
immediately went and
Yeah.
bought a new shiny motorcycle.
Yeah.
That's me too. I don't do that shit.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely
wanted-
would not encourage anybody to spend money they do not have. That's just not
Yeah.
smart.
I just wanted to put it out there because
I will say this.
Ryan's right. If it's not doing what you need it to do, then you should save the money and upgrade, but make sure that you're still financially smart about it.
I will say this: if you're winding that Sporty up to 80 miles an hour on a consistent basis for a long time, you need another bike.
Yep.
Dude, I saw a video today on one of the Road Glide forums that I belong to where a guy has a Honda Rebel 300.
Yeah,
He pegged that motherfucker out. He did a video on a speed test run, 83, 84 miles an hour.
80.
On
I'll tell you
on a
what.
Rebel 300. It was the most
That's
funnest
hauling
thing I've
ass.
ever
And-
seen, man.
You know what? That Sporty will run 80 all day long. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that it won't, because it will. But it feels like you're doing 180 when you're on the motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's
Yeah.
rough.
And you're
It's been on my
fucking-
Sporty. I up to 65, 70, man, and it was just like
And you're going to
hanging
get
on
off
for
that
dear
thing like
life.
you got. You're going to get off that thing like you got Parkinson's. You're just going to be shaking
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
this.
you're,
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's
It is
tough.
more comfortable on us.
yeah.
Well,
Tell
I
ya.
mean, the shaking, like the aggressiveness of the motor was what did it for me, because the Sport Glide and the Sportster both fit me about the same. I mean, they were both comfortable as far as my seating position. But yeah, they like vibrate the shit out of you.
I knew it was time when I made my 12th chiropractor appointment.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
do
there
have
you go.
about an inch and a half of travel, don't they? And that's like
Yeah.
legit.
Right.
They're a lot of fun. They're a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
They
Oh,
were. That
ton
bike
of
was
fun.
fun, but it was time. It was time.
And
Yep.
very, very customizable too. I mean, the amount of aftermarket for a Sportster is unparalleled to any other bike.
yeah,
I think
Jared
It's
started looking at
ridiculous.
suspension this
But
week.
you got to be careful with that, though. I mean, I had this conversation with Ty last week, who's talking about his first bike, and
Yeah.
he's trying to figure out whether he should get a Sportster or a Softail. And he fell into that trap that everybody falls in when they talk about sporties. Oh, but there's the aftermarket, and I can do this, and I can do. At the end of the day, that bike's still going to be as uncomfortable as shit. And within
Yeah,
a year,
but it'll look good.
given the type of riding that he and his dad do,
He should start out with
gonna
a
want
Softail.
You know,
Yeah.
He should do a
We're
Softail.
already telling him that he should get a used Dyna is what he should get. So
Yeah.
Most even other people that you talk to outside of us, like you go and talk to motorcycle shop, or maybe not the dealership, because I feel like they're always trying to sell you the darn sporty, but the Softail is a really great still starting bike. It is.
Well,
It's
See,
really
I
great.
think they're too much bike for somebody learning.
I think this is what I think. I don't think the Softail, number one, all the Softails right now in Harley's market, they're not affordable for a new rider, right? They're too
No.
expensive. So what we were saying is that we think that Ty should go out and get a Dyna, used Dyna. You could probably pick one up for $5 or $6 grand, and he can do with it what he wants.
And his
They got
dad
5-gallon
fix it.
tanks on him. His dad can fix
Yeah,
it.
his dad can definitely fix
Bob
it.
can fix anything. So I mean, that's what he should be getting himself
But-
into.
but
Like
Ty's-
what I think he should get is a Dyna low, and because Ty's also small, so that would do what he wants.
Like, how
Ty's
tall
as
is
a
he?
new rider, the context around Ty, I probably would not give that advice to most people. But because he's been riding as a passenger, because I know he wants to ride with his dad, he wants to ride with the White Walkers. That's why I'm saying, told him you need to stay away from the Sportster.
But here's the thing: the Sportsters are top heavy enough that even for a new rider, even if they are a little bit lower weight than a Softail, they're still kind of iffy for a new person getting used to.
Well, and I mean, but the thing is, we're talking about the 883 that they don't make anymore.
Right.
And the thing with the 883, while it had power, it was controllable, and it was predictable, and it wasn't crazy. To where on a Softail, they're faster bikes and they're smoother. I mean, you can look down and you're doing 80, 90 miles an hour, and you feel like you're doing 30.
Yep.
And that's the big difference. When you're doing 60 on a Sportster, you fucking know it.
Yeah, you do.
You know what I mean? Now,
That's true.
but we're talking about the 883s. The
Yep.
new fucking Sportsters are a whole different fucking breed.
They go.
Yeah, these motherfuckers move. I mean, they're
Yeah.
not. It's not an 883.
Yeah, that new Nightster is on
Yeah.
fire. That thing will go 100 in second gear.
Yeah, these things are fucking hot. These new ones. So
Just
I
like
mean,
the
it's a
Pan Am.
completely
That Pan
different
Am
bike.
is a fucking beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when we're talking Sportsters, we're talking the old 883s, not the new ones.
Yeah.
And I don't
They're-
know.
they're
I don't know
different
that dealers are pushing. I mean, at least I've been in a lot of
Don't sell a
dealers
lot
over the
of 'em,
last
man.
year, and I haven't seen a lot on the floor, and I haven't seen anybody pushing a Sportster.
I've seen a
over, like,
lot
last
on
year,
the
year and a half.
floor at Bluegrass. I've seen one on the road.
Well, Bluegrass has a shit ton of inventory. Just
Yeah, but I
in
mean,
general.
I see them on the floor, but like out in the wild, I've seen one.
Yeah, I
You
haven't
talking the
seen
new
any
ones?
either.
Yeah, one of the new ones. I mean, I've seen one like Nightster. If it was a Nightster, it was the Sportster, and I've seen one Sportster S in the wild, and that's all I've seen. They just, I don't know why, because I mean they're fucking cool bikes. They're a little pricey though, but we're going down the rabbit hole. Give us another one.
All
Yep.
right, this is probably the last one for today. It's an easy question. John Doe says, how many times have you been stung by bees while riding, and what part of your body got stung? Never been stung by a bee.
That's
thankfully.
hilarious, John, because I read that question a few weeks ago. Like that's an older question. And 2 weeks ago on my way out west, I had my visor cracked and something got inside my fucking helmet. And I could not
Was it
get,
long
I
and
could not get it out.
was it long and tubular?
No, but it was
So
like
was it
that
actually a bee?
going around
I
and
bet it was.
I was almost in a fit of panic, and I thought about John's question, but I was able to flip the visor up and get it out before it stung me or did whatever it was going to do.
I had a bee sting me on the back.
On a
And
bike?
I almost dropped my sports. It was the
Wow.
only time at a stoplight.
It's 'cause
Middle
flew up
back,
my arm.
lower back. Do you remember?
It fly up
Do
your
what?
shirt sleeve? Did it fly up your
Yeah,
shirt sleeve?
it flew up my shirt sleeve, and it hit me like right.
Off
Right
the
here.
sides.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if it was on your
Dude,
back,
that'll
there's no
catch
ways
you
getting
off
through all
guard.
that patch of hair.
Yeah, no, dude, it was like right. It was like right there, right like.
It was a
behind my
jungle bee.
armpit. And I was at a stoplight. I mean, shaking, trying to get it out, and the bike went to almost that point. I mean, it was
Yeah.
everything I had to keep it up. That was the closest I've ever come to dropping that bike. Was right there.
Wow.
It sucked. Yeah.
I've
That,
never
and I got
been,
hit with a June bug one time that almost knocked me
That'll
out.
hurt.
those fuckers hurt. I've never been stung by a bee, but ironically enough, this season, two of the guys riding with us have been stung. Bob was stung on the arm, and Kenny was stung on the hand.
Damn.
Jesus.
So yeah, I mean, it's a
Can
real
bees can actually
thing.
live way up north there?
dude. There's there's people that raise
Plants
them and
still
everything else up
grow.
here. Yeah,
Wow.
They
In
still
Tell
the,
you what,
in the
bees.
frozen
We got
tundra.
a fucking fly infestation right now. I'll tell you that much.
Oh,
The
here.
dude,
bugs
you
are
don't-
terrible.
You don't
now.
know flies compared to
Oh.
what Ron and I were dealing with the last couple of weeks. That,
Fucking terrible. I
Justin,
ordered
have
one
you
of
ever
those
been
salt
stung?
guns.
Not while riding, but I mean, I've had a stinger stuck in my foot when I was little when I was playing on the slip and slide.
Yeah, that would
That
suck
sucked.
too.
Mom got the tweezers out.
God,
Yeah.
I haven't been stung by a bee in forever. Thank goodness for
we can
that.
take care of that.
Those motherfuckers hurt, man.
Okay, everybody.
I know,
You
man.
need to bring pork and beans and bees
And some bees.
to FDB.
Any
FDBM.
beekeepers listen to the podcast? I know a guy right down the road.
I know a guy that's
Yeah.
a beekeeper.
Yeah, same. I get fresh honey from him.
I don't know a beekeeper, but I got a hell of a stinger.
Does yours charge you?
my
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ.
And with that, I think we're gonna wrap up this episode of I-30 Bikers.
That's a good ending right
While,
there.
while Tony goes poking people with his stinger. Oh, bye.